Creative photography techniques with DSLR cameras. Title: Exploring creative photography techniques with DSLR cameras. Introduction. In the world of digital photography, DSLR cameras have revolutionized the way photographers capture and express their creativity. With their advanced features and flexibility, DSLR cameras provide a wide range of possibilities for capturing stunning and creative images. In this article, we will explore some of the most popular and effective creative photography techniques that can be achieved using DSLR cameras. 1. Long exposure photography. Long exposure photography is a technique that involves leaving the camera's shutter open for an extended period of time, allowing for unique and often mesmerizing effects. With a DSLR camera, capturing long exposures becomes much easier due to the availability of manual controls. This technique enables photographers to transform ordinary scenes into ethereal and captivating imagery. 2. Bokeh photography. Bokeh, derived from the Japanese word bokeh, refers to the aesthetic quality of the out-of-focus area in an image. DSLR cameras provide the ability to manipulate depth of field, allowing photographers to easily achieve beautiful bokeh effects. To capture striking bokeh, choose a wide aperture, e.g., f1.8 or lower, to create a shallow depth of field. Then, focus on your subject while the background elements become soft and blurred. This technique works particularly well with subjects like flowers, portraits, or festive lights. 3. Macro photography. Macro photography involves capturing extreme close-up shots of small subjects, revealing intricate details that are often unseen by the naked eye. With a DSLR camera, it is easier to achieve sharp and detailed macro images. To capture stunning macro shots, invest in a good macro lens with a high magnification ratio. Additionally, use a tripod to ensure stability and optimal focus. Experiment with different lighting techniques, such as natural light, diffused lighting, or utilizing flash to bring out the smallest details. 4. Light painting. Light painting is a technique that allows photographers to paint with light, resulting in unique and abstract images. DSLR cameras come in handy for this technique due to their long exposure capabilities. This technique allows for endless possibilities and creative expressions. 5. Double exposure photography. Double exposure photography involves overlaying or merging two different images into a single frame. While film cameras traditionally achieved this effect, DSLR cameras now offer advanced features, making it easier to experiment with double exposure. To create double exposure images with a DSLR camera, choose the multiple exposure setting in the camera's menu. First, take a photograph of the primary subject, then overlay a second image onto it. This technique allows for endless creative combinations and visual storytelling. 6. High-speed photography. High-speed photography is a technique used to capture fast-moving subjects in action. DSLR cameras with fast shutter speeds and continuous shooting mode are ideal for freezing moments that occur within the blink of an eye. To capture high-speed shots, set your DSLR camera to a high shutter speed and continuous shooting mode. This allows you to capture a series of rapid shots, increasing the chances of capturing the perfect moment. This technique is popular for sports photography, wildlife photography, or any subject that requires precise timing. 7. HDR photography. HDR, which stands for High Dynamic Range, is a technique used to capture a wider range of light and color in an image. DSLR cameras allow photographers to capture multiple exposures of the same scene and merge them into a single photograph with enhanced detail and contrast. To create HDR images, set your DSLR camera to bracketing mode, which takes a series of photos at different exposures. Then use software such as Adobe Lightroom or Photoshop to combine these photos into a final HDR image. This technique is particularly useful when photographing landscapes or scenes with extreme contrast between light and dark areas. 8. Tilt-shift photography. Tilt-shift photography refers to a technique that creates a shallow depth of field and miniature-like effect in an image. DSLR cameras with tilt-shift lenses offer precise control over the plane of focus and perspective, making it easier to achieve this effect. To create tilt-shift images, use a tilt-shift lens or a specialized lens adapter that enables tilt and shift movements. Adjust the tilt and shift controls to manipulate the plane of focus and create a blurred background, mimicking the look of a miniature model. This technique is commonly used in architectural photography or to add a whimsical touch to everyday scenes. 9. Infrared photography. Infrared photography involves capturing light beyond the visible spectrum, resulting in surreal and otherworldly images. Some DSLR cameras offer infrared conversion options or the ability to attach infrared filters for this creative technique. To capture infrared images, attach an infrared filter to your DSLR camera lens or have your camera converted for infrared photography. Experiment with different subjects and lighting conditions to see their unique transformation in infrared. This technique allows photographers to see the world in a whole new light, uncovering hidden details and creating a mystical atmosphere. 10. Panoramic photography. Panoramic photography enables photographers to capture wide-angle views and expansive landscapes in a single image. DSLR cameras with wide-angle lenses and panoramic shooting modes make it easier to achieve seamless panoramic images. To capture panoramic shots, set your DSLR camera to the panoramic shooting mode and follow the on-screen instructions for capturing each frame. Once the frames are captured, use editing software to stitch them together into a single panoramic image. This technique creates immersive and breathtaking images that capture the grandeur of vast landscapes. With the power and versatility of DSLR cameras, photographers have an abundance of tools and techniques at their fingertips to explore and express their creativity. So grab your DSLR camera, unleash your imagination, and embark on a journey of artistic exploration through the lens. 11. Astrophotography. Astrophotography is the art of capturing images of celestial objects, such as stars, planets, and galaxies. DSLR cameras with manual controls and interchangeable lenses are popular among astrophotographers for their ability to capture stunning night sky shots. To capture breathtaking astrophotography, use a tripod to minimize camera shake, set your DSLR camera to manual mode, and choose a wide-angle lens with a low aperture. Experiment with different exposure times to capture the dim light of distant celestial objects. Consider investing in a star tracker to capture long exposure images of the night sky without star trails. With DSLR cameras, you can explore the wonders of the universe and capture awe-inspiring astrophotography. 12. Abstract photography. Abstract photography involves capturing images that lack a clear and distinct subject. It focuses on shapes, colors, patterns, and textures to create visually intriguing compositions. DSLR cameras provide the flexibility and control to experiment with abstract photography techniques. To create abstract photographs, look for everyday objects or scenes with interesting shapes, colors, or textures. Experiment with different angles, perspectives, and settings like shallow depth of field or long exposures to create unique and visually captivating images. Abstract photography allows photographers to break free from traditional rules and unleash their creativity. 13. Silhouette photography. Silhouette photography is a technique that involves capturing the subject as a dark shape against a bright background. DSLR cameras with manual exposure controls enable photographers to create beautiful and dramatic silhouette images. To capture striking silhouettes, position your subject in front of a bright light source, such as the setting sun or a well-lit window. Set your DSLR camera to spot metering mode and meter for the bright background, which will result in the subject being underexposed, creating a silhouette effect. Play with different compositions and experiment with backlighting to achieve compelling silhouette images. 14. Street photography. Street photography is a genre that captures candid moments of everyday life in public spaces. DSLR cameras provide the versatility and image quality needed to capture the spirit and essence of street scenes. To excel in street photography, set your DSLR camera to manual or aperture priority mode for quick adjustments. Use a wide-angle lens to capture the energy and context of the scene. Be observant and patient, anticipate interesting moments, and capture the emotions and stories unfolding around you. Street photography allows photographers to capture the beauty and diversity of human life. 15. Time-lapse photography. Time-lapse photography is a technique that captures the passage of time by taking a series of photos at regular intervals and combining them into a video. DSLR cameras with intervalometer features are perfect for creating stunning time-lapse sequences. To create compelling time-lapse videos, mount your DSLR camera on a sturdy tripod and set it to manual mode with a desired exposure. Use an intervalometer to control the frequency of shots and set the desired duration of the time-lapse. Choose interesting subjects or scenes with movement, such as clouds, traffic, or growing plants, to create dynamic and visually engaging time-lapse sequences. 16. Wildlife photography. Wildlife photography involves capturing animals in their natural habitats, showcasing their behavior and beauty. DSLR cameras with fast autofocus and long telephoto lenses are popular choices for wildlife photographers. To capture captivating wildlife shots, research the behavior and habitats of the animals you want to photograph. Use a long telephoto lens to maintain a safe distance while capturing close-up shots. Be patient, observe, and anticipate the actions of the animals to capture their natural behavior. Wildlife photography allows photographers to document and raise awareness about the incredible biodiversity of our planet. 17. Still life photography. Still life photography involves capturing inanimate objects arranged in visually pleasing compositions. DSLR cameras provide the control and image quality needed for detailed and compelling still life images. To create striking still life shots, experiment with different lighting techniques, such as natural light, diffused light, or artificial lighting setups. Pay attention to composition, color harmony, and the arrangement of objects in the frame. Play with different perspectives and experiment with various objects, textures, and props to create visually captivating still life images. 18. Landscape photography. Landscape photography is a genre that celebrates the beauty of natural environments, capturing sweeping vistas, majestic